Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's Cool World, brought to us by Ocean. Cool World for the Super Nintendo, based on the 1992 film, is just one of many Cool World games that was released. In this version of Cool World, we take control of the main character of Jack Deebs, who's the cartoonist who got sucked into Cool World. So here we go with Cool World for the Super Nintendo. As we begin Cool World, we get to see our main character of Jack being pulled in to Cool World itself. Now when you start off the game, you're dropped in the middle of the city. We have to first make our way over to the left. Avoid the animal-like toon with the brown hat, as if you run into him, you'll either have to give him a nickel, or he'll instantly kill you. When we went over to the left, we grabbed the punching glove. We're going to be using this as our main form of attack throughout the game. Walk over here and punch these 3 jumping enemies in order to get 3 nickels. You're going to need nickels in order to purchase items throughout the game. However, there's only a couple that you actually have to buy. You also use the glove in order to climb buildings. Do so to get on top of that building and grab the keys once they stop moving. Then, work your way over here and punch this guy 6 times in order to defeat him, and you'll end up getting an extra amount of coins unlocked. He also informs you that if you actually are able to collect one of the biff symbols that comes out when you hit an enemy that's flashing, you'll get invulnerability for a bit of time. So jump on the down arrows, getting used to the jumping mechanics. It's going to take a little bit to get used to overall, since it's a little bit sloppy and unresponsive in the game. Once we have those nickels though, head back over to the right. Over here, duck down to pick up the book. You must have the book in hand in order to enter the library. Don't worry though, you don't lose the boxing glove. It's a little bit weird, but you always have the previous item with you, even though we pick up other items. Once back on the street, start working your way over to the right. If any of the little cops jump on you, quickly press the left and right buttons to get them off of you. If a lot of them jump on you at once, you will end up losing a life. Inside the library, we picked up flowers. You need the flowers as well as a little bit of money to get inside of the bar. Once you're inside the bar, take out all the enemies that you're going to be seeing. First, by going on top of the bar itself and taking out this guy, then over to the left to take out the guy in the left area. Once they're taken care of, work your way over to the right, ignoring this guy as he's not an enemy for now, as well as being careful not to be hit by the sound waves that are going to come out of those lights. Take out these 2 enemies that throw glasses at you, and then wait underneath here in order to grab onto the light in order to get over the bar fight itself, or else you'll instantly lose a life walking into it. Over here, take out this guy before heading back to the left. Holli is located over there, but you need to buy her a drink first, and it's almost impossible to get to her without taking out those enemies first, because every time you get hit by them, you would drop the drink. Up here, I hit the switch in order to stop those lights, so that I can get by them while I have the drink in my hand. You have to wait for the bartender to stop before you can ask him for a drink, and then you gotta make sure that you press down on the right spot while the drink's going past you, or it will slide off the bar and you'll lose it. With the drink in hand though, you want to make sure that you jump over that drunk guy, because he will end up stealing your drink from you. Over here, once again, you're going to have to wait for the light, which you may have to walk a little bit over to the right just to make sure it's coming back towards you. Get over the fight, then continue walking over to the right. Go past the guard of Holli's, and then talk to her, in which case she'll tell you to meet her later. Once we've done that, just walk out of the bar. Once we're back outside, go over to the right and press down on the car in order to get inside. The keys that we got earlier control the car.
The drive-in areas can be a little bit difficult. You have a certain number of hits and you'll see that your car takes more and more damage as you drive through items. You also have to make sure that you jump over the gaps or hit the spring bounces in order to get over them. At every red light, you're forced to stop for a few seconds, and then once it turns green, your car will be able to move again. You can press back to slow down and forward to speed up. Once inside the next area, make sure that you grab the candy from the tree using the glove. Also, try to dodge the two bunnies that are going to be throwing dice at you. The reason that you're going to need the candy is so that you can end up getting inside the malt shop. Once you get to the malt shop, go inside. We have to get to the upper right corner here in order to get a present that we have to give to Holli. Use your glove in order to climb up and try to do your best to avoid the enemies that are going to try to walk into you. Some of the enemies can't be defeated in this area, so make sure that you either jump over them or you can actually force them to walk off the edge of their platform. In the upper right corner, destroy the wall and then pick up the present. Once you have that in hand, drop back down and walk over to the right to exit the malt shop. Once you're back here, walk over to the left, avoiding the enemies if you can or taking them out with your glove so that you can get to the end of the screen and get to another one of the drive-in sections. The second drive-in section is actually a little bit shorter, I think, than the first one, but it's a little bit more difficult to get through. It may take a little bit of practice, and you may end up falling into a gap or losing your health a few times, but after a while you should be able to get the hang of it. When you reach the end, you're actually outside of Holli's building, but you can't go through the front door, you actually have to climb up. Nails the spider, as well as many other people throughout the hotel, are going to be trying to knock you back down floors. Try to do your best to avoid objects and all the stuff that Nails throws at you as you work your way up the tower. Sometimes when you go up though, you won't be able to see an object coming, so you'll have to just fall back down and try again. Once you reach the top, you can give the present to Holli and one of the more pivotal scenes happens. While in the game, it's much more PG, as she just kisses you in order to become human. Of course, in the movie, she actually had to have sex with Jack in order to actually become human. However, she instantly goes to the human world once that scene takes place, and takes Jack along with her. However, in the game, we still have to do stuff in order to get to the human world. We start off by going back to the right, which actually takes us back to the first area of the game. On the first screen again, enter the pawn shop. Once inside, he'll ask if you want to trade your candy for money. Don't do this. Instead, select the pen and pick the trade option. This way, you'll trade the present that you were supposed to give to Holli for the pen. And what the pen allows you to do is suck up doodles. You'll have to do this in order to complete the game. But once you also have the pen, you have a time limit in order to get to the next object. We now must get the power spike, which is needed to complete the game. You actually have to go back to the malt shop in order to get that item. But you have a time limit, meaning that after a little bit of time, you'll be transported automatically to the human world, and you'll have to suck up all the doodles that are there in order to get teleported back to Cool World in order to find that spike. But if you're quick enough, you can get the spike, and then instantly go to the human world afterwards and be able to complete the game.